Good day, everyone. Welcome to Scholar School System. My name is Olu Abiodun, and I will be taking you on Module Marketing Fundamentals, BMM 4123, Semester 1, Week 3. The topic for today is customer insights, which is also known as customer behavior or customer psychology. In today's module, we are going to learn outcomes of concepts of and practices of marketing, including the application of marketing research, market analysis, segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So these are learning outcome 1 from today's class. What are the objectives for today's class? Understand the key dimensions of customer behavior, explain the different roles played in a buying decision. Also, we are going to compare and contrast different theories of buying decision process. Furthermore, we are going to analyze the main influences on customer behavior, personal and social influences. We're also going to critically discuss the role of marketing activities in consumption decisions. A brief recap of what we've done in week 1 and week 2. In week 1, we talked about the marketing concepts, and we looked at how marketing is a relevant aspect of a business organization, and a common determinant for marketing is the customer-oriented nature of marketing. So that's what we looked at in week 1, marketing concept, where we talked about the 4 P's and the 7 P's. In week 2, we considered marketing planning, where we looked at the marketing strategy and the steps in the marketing planning. We looked at various aspects of how organizations can undertake marketing planning. We considered the vision, the mission, the competitive compatibility. We looked at the market trends and opportunities. And we stated that we cannot develop an informed and effective marketing plan without customer insight. So today we are looking at customer or consumer insight. We are going to focus on understanding the target market and what they are, who they are, where are they from in today's class. Customer insight is a dimension of customer behavior. And when you talk about customer behavior, you're talking about the people that buy products and services. We're talking about customers in the market that organizations try to target. So we're going to look at areas like who buys items, how they buy, choice criteria, how they make their choices of what they buy. We're going to look at the influences of consumer behavior, and we're also going to consider organizational buying behaviors. So let's have some customer insight on some critical questions. 1, we talk about who is important to the customer. What are their choice criteria? When do they buy? How do they buy? Where do they buy? These are questions that we must ask marketers. So the first aspect is who buys? How they buy? What choices do they have? Where do they buy? And when do they buy? Who buys? It could be the initiator. It could be the influencer. It could be the decider. When we talk about initiator, we're talking about someone that makes the initiative to look for purchase. When we talk about the influencer, someone that influences the decision, or an individual that is part of the decision-making process. And then when we talk about the decider, the person that makes the final decision. And then we have the buyer. So let's look at this example, in this case of a child who buys. Think about a parent or a guardian and a child in a buying relationship. So the initiator of the decision is the child. The influencer is the child or the child's peers. The decider will be the parent. The buyer will be the parent. The user of the product will be the child. So when it comes to mind, we look at things like this in understanding customer insights. So you can have an argument to say, is it ethical to market to children or not? So there are two aspects of the argument. You can see that children have their own legitimate consumers with their own need, and parents have the authority to say no. That's one aspect. Then there's another aspect that talks about children are susceptible and do not have the knowledge to make the right decisions. They do not have the experience to make the rational purchase decisions. And parents are emotionally susceptible to making their child happy or just want peace for themselves. So this is the argument with respect to who buys in a child-parent relationship. But as a marketer, you must understand these areas and know how to use your marketing strategies to influence these decisions. It's an ongoing argument. Now, let us look at how do they buy in terms of what we call the customer buying decision-making process. Customer buying decision-making process. We have that for the consumer. We have that for the organization. Organization, we talk about B2B. For the consumer, we talk about B2C. So when you're talking about from a business organization to a consumer, you have 5 steps. When you're talking about from business to a business, you have 6 steps. So let's focus on the consumer buying decision-making process. Number 1 is the need recognition, whereby you find out, oh, I have a problem, and you seek out the kind of things that you want to buy. Number 2 is you begin to look for information set. Number 3, evaluation of the alternatives that you have. Number 4, you talk about making your purchase. And number 5, you talk about post-purchase decision. So let's look at an example of how this can appear in a setting of hunger, or if you are hungry. So, of course, I am hungry will set as the problem recognition or the need recognition that, oh, I am hungry, I need to eat. Then you need to ask yourself that what is available for me to eat? You go online to make a search. You search online, you search online offers, you search for ideas. Oh, should I go to Burger King? Should I go to Pizza Hut? You check for restaurants online. You check for places where you could have a meal online or what you could offer to quench your hunger online. And then you have the option of should I take a cake or a chocolate? And then you do some evaluation, alternative evaluation between which one is cheaper. Is it cake? Is it chocolate? And then you make a final decision by going with what? Snickers, which is a chocolate. Then you have a post-purchase evaluation, which is called a buyer's remorse, a cognitive dissonance, where you think about the fact that I should have gone with cake instead of chocolate. All these are examples of how consumers' decision-making process. Now, the importance of this is that at each stage of the decision-making process, marketers must be ready to provide cues that will influence consumers towards their products or service. So at the decision-making problem recognition stage, there should be things like adverts, there should be things like cues that will make it easy for the consumer to think about your product or service when they are hungry. Then, of course, for the information set, your product should be readily available in all platforms where the customer makes a search for information. So things like search engine optimization comes very handy at this point. You set online, you go online and search, you Google and you search for that kind of information that you need. So marketers should ensure that their organization, their website is available, information about their products is available online so that when customers go to search, they are easily able to find them. And of course, talking about evaluation of alternatives, there should be key prompters or factors that marketers should make available so that their brand can be well known, and reached out to. So when you talk about this aspect, are we starting again? So when we talk about these, so when we talk about these elements, we look at the various aspects in which marketers can make themselves available for consumers in various settings. Next, we talk about choice criteria, which is closely linked to the consumer buying decision-making process. What are the things that will influence a customer to buy a product? Quality, pricing, peer review, referrals, advertising, incentives. All these are examples, and they fall through each stage of the consumer decision-making process. So you can see there, technical performance, economic factors, personal factors, and these are elements that will influence a consumer's choice. Now, let's talk about the influences of personal, the influences of various elements on consumer behavior. So we have the personal influences and the social influences. These influences relate to how customers make their choice. So under personal influences, we have the information processing, we have things like beliefs, we have things like attitudes, we have things like personality, lifestyle, life cycle. For example, a single person would definitely might go for this compared to a married person with children, which might consider using a Jeep or a minivan because he has children. Okay, so their life cycle is different. One is single, one is married with children. Then we have social influences where we talk about the cultural beliefs, we talk about subculture, the nation you are from, the tribe you are from can influence your purchase of items. Also your social class in terms of your status, your income. Also you can talk about your reference group and peer groups. All these are aspects of influences on consumer behavior, personal and social influences. Okay, and then we mentioned that, okay, the customer can go through stages of a buying journey, from the awareness to consideration to purchase to retention to advocacy. All these elements are part of the customer buying journey. And as a marketer, it provides you opportunity to know where your product stands with a customer. Now we're going to look at the impact of digital marketing on customer buying behavior. Digital marketing is an aspect of using online tools, technology-driven tools to drive marketing activities. And a good example is use of social media. Social media can create awareness. You can see that from the stage in buying process to communication objectives to digital marketing techniques, you see how at each stage you can have a use of digital marketing to influence customer buying behavior. So when you are unaware, you can use digital marketing to create awareness. Social media, recommendation, displays, this can create awareness. And then when you talk about searching for information, you can have lead generation, where search engine optimization, content marketing is very relevant. So all these are the steps in which digital marketing impacts customer buying behavior process. So we can see here that there's something called the race model, whereby we are talking about 4 steps designed to help engage prospects, customers, or fans with brands through the customer life cycle. So digital marketing can help in reaching, in providing action, in creating conversion of the customer, and engaging the customer. All these aspects are what we see with respect to digital marketing in the customer buying behavior process. Now, one of the elements we need to talk about that is very important in customer insight is the psychological influence. According to Maslow, it explains that you can get customers to buy things if you meet their needs. And there are 5 stages of needs there. We talk about the physiological needs, the safety needs, the love and belonging needs, the self-esteem needs, and the self-actualization needs. So when you see people say, oh, I want to buy a car, or I want to go for a holiday, they are trying to meet some needs. When you go for holiday, that's social needs, love and belongingness needs. When you try to maybe buy a Rolex, that's self-esteem needs. So those are things that Abraham Maslow explains in saying that customers are influenced psychologically based on these various needs. It sets out various motivations for customers to make their purchase decision. Finally, let's talk about the implication of customer insight for marketing planning. Like we said in this class, we are looking at understanding customer behavior, understanding customer influences, understanding customer interactions. And this will help you to improve your target market, improve your target marketing, improve your understanding of your target audience, help to personalize customer experience, create a scenario of product development and innovation, enhance your competitive advantage, optimize your marketing channels, and enhance your customer retention and loyalty. There's a class activity that you can go through in relation to your group assignment for preparing a student union marketing plan and campaign. In this class, you have learned to understand who your customer is. In this case, we are looking at the student union. Who are the stakeholders in the student union? Those are the target audience that you are going to focus your marketing campaign and plan to. We have some references. Thank you.